So yesterday we discussed a few basic points about TypeScript data types. So we learnt about variables and data types. So how we can configure variables and data types, we discussed about that, right? Next, after understanding the variables and data types, in data types, how to handle primitive types, I already told you. We have primitive types. Under primitive types, you have number, string, boolean, null, and undefined. These are the primitive types. So we have non-primitive types. Non-primitive types, we have an array, object, and we have a map. These are the types. Primitive types, one more concept I told you, that TypeScript supports union of types. I hope you remembered that. Union of type means it supports type multiple types. You can declare a variable which can handle multiple types. That is union of types. Now, another important you need to know, because all concepts are same like JavaScript. What is different I am giving here. Another point is how we can handle arrays in TypeScript. We will see that. Means non-primitive types we will see. How to handle arrays, object, map, date, regular expressions, how to manage them. So what you learnt about arrays in JavaScript is same in TypeScript also. I hope you learnt in JavaScript array can store different types of values. Am I right? JavaScript array is not like your Java or .NET arrays. JavaScript array can store different types of values. So, how to declare arrays in TypeScript? So, point is TypeScript arrays. Array is same as in JavaScript. TypeScript array is same as in JavaScript, but you can configure with similar types or various types. You can configure with similar types or various types. Similar type of or various types of values you can configure. I will show you here what are similar type and various types. Actually, in order to declare similar type, so suppose I want to store string type, then let some categories. Categories is an array. Then what type array? String type. Then string square brace, like this we have to define. That means now you are declaring categories, and categories is what type? String. And already you learned array, how to initialize memory. You can initialize by using meta character. You can use meta character, or we can declare categories. What type? String type is equal to new array constructor. You can use both of them. Same like JavaScript, array declarations and assignment of memory is same. Only the difference is you have to mention data type. You have to mention the data type and define the data type. Now, In JavaScript, array can store different types of values. Here we can restrict to similar type. We can also allow different types. How to allow different types? LET, some values. You can keep any type array. Any type array means you can store different types of values. That means now in this you can store a string, you can store a number, you can store a boolean. It can handle various types of values. So you can define different types of values. So array have two behaviors. Generally in JavaScript, array have only one behavior. It can store any type of value. But in TypeScript, array can store similar type of values or different type. If you want to store similar type of value, then tell the data type. If you want to store various types of values, you have to define any as type. Then you can store different types of values. Now here in many interviews, one question is asked, what is difference between the meta character and array constructor? What is difference between meta character and constructor? Because array can be initialized in two ways. Array can be initialized with memory. By using this meta character, you can initialize memory, or by using array constructor, you can initialize memory. What is difference? Both are arrays only. What is difference? Any idea? You learned this in JavaScript, that array can be declared with meta character or array constructor. What is difference? No. Difference is actually, one difference is array constructor allows you to define size. You can mention the size of array. That means 5, 4, 3, 2, any size of array. But that size can be changed. Size can be changed. Then what is difference is, see, two differences are there. One is actually the answer for this is array constructor can define array size. That means what you can do, you can simply write like this. Syntax you can define like this. LET values is a string type array is equal to new array. Into that we can pass the size. We can define the size. You can configure the size. So you can have different values we can configure. But here in array constructor, you can define the size. You can configure the size. One more difference is here. Actually, another difference is array constructor can define values only of similar type, even when the data type is any. That means it can define values of similar type. Instead of define, better we use the word initialize. Array can initialize values of similar type even when the data type is any. That is another very important point. Initialize only similar type. Actually, array can define any type. Array can define any type if it is written as any as data type. For example, let's see this point. See, we will go to our project, and in this, let's open our TypeScript app here. Yes. So in this here, I am writing a simple logic here. LET categories is equal to, is a word type, string type array. Now in that you can store only string. That means you can define only string. If I try to store, not allowed. It can store only string type. If I have to define any type, means you want to store any type of value, you can make the data type as any. But see, the interesting point is, when I use meta character, you can initialize any type of value. That means it can be number, it can be string, it can be boolean. You can store any type of value. It allows any type of value. But see, if I am declaring array by using a constructor, I am using here, if I want to initialize the values, I pass it 10. After that, next I am trying to store string. It is not allowed. This is not allowed. But our data type is any. But when you saw I used a square brace meta character, it allows all. But array constructor will not when the data type is defined as any. Even when the data type is defined as any. So this is a very important question for interviews, because array is initialized in square brace constructor, then obviously this question will come, what is difference? Two differences are there. One, the difference is you can mention the size. Another one is array constructor will not allow to initialize different types. Then what is the data type? Whatever the first value type you mentioned, it allows all the same type. Data type of values is determined according to the first value. That means what kind of data you can store based on first value. If first value is number, all are number. So see here, I will use first value as string, then all are string. I store number, it's not allowing. This number is not allowed. So you cannot store that number. At the runtime, it will show error, because you can see it is already showing here all are what type? String type. But we never mentioned that string. It depends on which one? First value type. Depending on first value type, it will take. So what is, and remember this sentence, remember, array can initialize values. This is about only initialization, not assignment. So you have to note that, very important, you should note that array constructor can assign various values, not initialize. Can assign various values, not initialize. This rule is about only initialization, not assignment. It can not initialize various values. That means when you define data type as any, you can is only same type, but you can find different type. That means I explained this point to you, that array constructor will allow only same type. Tomorrow you will come with one doubt. You will say that, sir, I am trying to store values, it is working. But what you do actually, you use categories 1. Is this initialization? It is not initialization, it is assignment. It is about only initialization. Store different values, but it is storing. My definition was not about storing, was about initializing. Array constructor can initialize only same type. It can assign different types. Initialization only can be same type. That is actual rule. That means array can assign various values, not initialize. Even when the data type is any, you can store different types of values as assignment. Similar type of values as initialization. So that is very important. And what about meta character? Meta character, it allows various types of values. It allows various type values and will not have size. It will not have size. So array constructor have size and this is difference between meta character and array. That is one important point, right? Yeah. So these are basic things: how to declare array, how to store values into array. The same you learned in JavaScript. Only the difference you find here is data type. Because in JavaScript you don't have data type, here you have to use data type. That is only the concept. Now array manipulation methods are same as JavaScript. Array manipulation methods are same as JavaScript. All array manipulation methods are same as JavaScript. What you learned array manipulation methods? So reading. How to read values from array? To read values from array, you have toString is a method, join is a method, slice is a method, right? So find is a method, filter is a method. These are the methods regularly used for reading values from array. To read values from array in the methods. Same methods here also. And inserting we use by using push. We have to use by using unshift. And we have to use by using splice. These three methods are used for inserting value into array. Removing value from array, it is done by using pop, by using shift, and by using splice again. Splice is used for removing and adding both. So pop will remove last item, shift will remove first item, and splice will remove specific item, any specific item. Similarly, push will add a new element as the last item. Unshift will add a new item as the first item. Splice will add as at any position. At any position you can add. And reading, one more I forgot here, very popular now, reading map is also reading. For reading, we use this map also. Map is used for reading also. Another in array options, so we have index methods. We have like index of, we have last index of, these are index based access. So you can access any element based on the index references. We can search whether the element is present. If present, at which index it is present, you can know that by using this. These are all array methods. So I am not repeating all JavaScript basics again, right? Because this class is suitable for the people who are already done their JavaScript. And TypeScript is same as JavaScript. Wherever changes are there, only those changes we will discuss here. We will not discuss all JavaScript basics again. So if anybody not good in their JavaScript, don't know all these, you have to learn in JavaScript only. TypeScript will not teach that, right? TypeScript will use your JavaScript. Only new things we will discuss here. What are new? So data types, variables same, data types extra, we have to define the type. Arrays all are same, right? Next important, after understanding array, in JavaScript, I hope you learned JavaScript object, am I right? The same here also TypeScript. Let me give us TypeScript object type. Array type, object type. So you learned in JavaScript object also, right? JSON, na? You learned JSON, na? JavaScript object notation. So what is the purpose of object in JavaScript? What is the purpose of object in JavaScript? What is purpose of object? The purpose of object in JavaScript is to keep all related data and logic together. To keep all related data and logic together so that you can reuse it. So object contains related data and logic as one unit. Generally in JavaScript, what we do, first I will show that. In your JavaScript, how objects are defined. Where product is an object. Then objects are defined in a block. Arrays are defined in a square brace. Objects are defined in a block. What object contains key and value? That means key is string type and value can be any type. Key is a string type and value can be any type. So key is a string type, stock something, and value is any type. So you can keep all related data at one place. Not only keeping all related data, suppose we have quantity. Quantity is 2. We can keep all related logic also together. Suppose I have total. Total is a function that should return quantity into price. Then how to write colon? We have to define function. Total is a function. What this function have to return? It should return quantity into price. We can access the members of an object within the object by using this keyword. You learned all this now? Why you are looking at me like Christopher Nolan movie? Yeah? You know Christopher Nolan? Huh? No? Christopher Nolan is very famous Hollywood director. His movies are Inception, Interstellar, right? These are his movies. When you are watching his movie in IMAX, Interstellar, you will clap for every scene. So exciting. People whistle and clap for every scene. At the end of his movies, people ask what is story. Huh? All his movies are like this only. Matrix, Interstellar, Inception. All these are Christopher Nolan movies. You today see those movies and come and tell story tomorrow. You can't understand. Even you watch 10 times, you can't understand the story. But you will whistle for every scene. You will clap. Or what a scene is there that. But at the end of movie, you will ask, what is story? What happened? It will be like that, learning Angular without JavaScript. Understood? Huh? Right? So learning JavaScript without JavaScript, learning Angular will be like that. It will look very good, easy understanding everything, but you can't know what is happening there. That is the reason be perfect in your JavaScript, huh? Right? Because these are all not the things we have to discuss here. Right? You are here to learn a very advanced technology which is trending in the market now. And for this, you need a perfect knowledge of JavaScript. Remember, even you are a Java.NET developer, if you are good in Angular, you can directly get a job as Angular developer. Right? That means you can keep your all technologies aside and you can just go for the jobs as Angular developer with great packages. Right? That is the current market, Angular, React like technologies. Only Angular developer you will get jobs. That is the reason, be perfect in your JavaScript, HTML, CSS and Angular. That is enough even to work as Angular developer in companies. Even you are learning Java or .NET like technologies, you can apply for the jobs for Angular developers. Whatever we learn in this class is enough to handle that. But you must be very strong in JavaScript. These all we should not explain actually, because when I say object, you should have idea on that. What is object, how it is written, how it is accessed. No? Once go through all your JavaScript basics, what you learned, arrays, objects, up to variables, data types, operators, statements, functions. Up to that concept you prepare. From OOP concept, I will detailedly tell. From OOP concepts, we will detailedly discuss everything. Right? But up to OOP concepts, all you should be perfect with JavaScript only. Okay? These are all related to that. So when you work with JavaScript, object is used to keep related data and logic together. Data is stored in properties, functionality is defined in function, and the members of object are accessed within the object by using which keyword? This. Outside the object by using the object reference. That means how to access this dot quantity into this dot price. This is total. Okay. Now I have another one, print. Print is also a function. What this print function have to do? Comma. Yeah. This print function have to print all details. That it should print all details. Then you can just use console log or document write. So the same concept in our TypeScript also. Only the point is actually object keeps all your related data and logic together. And TypeScript uses any as data type for object. That means we don't have any separate data type. So if you want to store an object, the data type must be any. And object is a set of keys and values configured in a block. In a block means this curly brace. So object is a set of keys and values configured in a block. Key is string type and value is any type. Key is a string type and value is any type. All keys must be string and values can be any type. You can define any type, right? So syntax, how to declare LET. Just now I showed you product. If it is an object, we have to define data type as any. Is equal to, we have to define all the members like this. That is just syntax. In this, what we do generally, we define a key and we define a value. So we have collection of keys and values. All the collection of keys and values are defined here. That is object type. In TypeScript, how to store array and how to store object. And when you store array, data type, you have to mention data type. And while storing object also, you have to mention data type. But there is no specific data type for object. That is the reason what should be the data type? Any. When you are declaring object, the data type must be any. So what we have to do now, let's go in type. This is in your JavaScript. In TypeScript, we write like this. In TypeScript, LET product is any type and it is an object. In this object, you will have name, suppose some name. So you will have some price and this is some price. It can have number. We have some quantity, that is 2, and we have some total. Total is a function, then you have to write a function. This will return this dot quantity into this dot price. And we have another function called print. This is a function and this function will print all the details. Console.log name is equal to this dot name. In the next line, price is equal to this dot price. In the next line, quantity is equal to this dot quantity. And the total is equal to this dot total. That's how we need to define. Now, how to access this object and use it? So simple. I want to print all the details. Then we can access object and a print method directly like this. If you want to assign any values, you can reassign. Suppose I want to change the name, then before printing product.name is equal to, you can put some name, Samsung LED TV, like this. That means you can define, you can change the names. You can assign, initialize any value into it. Now let's print this and see. Just for your understanding sake, I am opening in a separate Explorer. Open this in command prompt. You can run in terminal. What is it? tsc index.ts. After that, node index.js. It will get all the details. So we created an object. So the intention of object is reusability. We can use that object for various types of data any number of times. How do we define objects and how do we access and use the objects? So in JavaScript, you have object. The same you have to use in TypeScript also. but only one change, the data type. Rest of all options are same. In JavaScript, how you define, same. Only one concept is you have to mention data type, right? I will keep this example for your classroom, right? Yeah. This is the example. So there is no change in objects also. Okay. Next, arrays and objects. Next, we have TypeScript map type. TypeScript map type. Actually, map types are newly introduced into JavaScript from ES6. JavaScript ES6 version onwards, map types are newly introduced into JavaScript, and those are now used in TypeScript also. Actually, map is same like object with the key and value collection. Key and value collection. But what is difference is map can have various types of keys. Object can have only string type keys, but map can have various types of keys. Another important is map is faster than object. Faster than object. Why it is faster than object is it provides implicit iterators to read all keys, values and entries. To read all keys and values and entries, it will provide internal iterators so that it is very faster when compared to object. These days in interviews in advanced JavaScript, they ask this question: what is difference between an object and map in JavaScript? The difference between object and map in JavaScript, because in advanced JavaScript we use these maps very regularly. In our Angular also we are going to use these maps. There you will see more work with maps. Map is same like object with key value, but difference is object can have string keys only, but map can have keys of any type, string, number, boolean, any type of keys. Another specialty is object needs explicit iterators. Suppose if I ask you a question like how properties and values of an object, how to read all the properties and values of an object. For example, see, let's keep it simple. We have an object called product, and the product is having these details. Only some data is there. So stock, it is true or false. Okay. Now I want to read all the properties and values of object. How? All. If I want to read all the properties and values of object, we need explicit iterators for where property in object is product. We use an in operator to read every property from that object, and we will print console.log. I am printing here the property, and if you want to print the value, then we have to use product of property. This is how we access all the keys and values. So in JavaScript object, we can store keys and values, and in order to access the keys and values, you need explicit iterators like this. By using such iterators, you can access all the keys and values from an object. Now you can see I am using here tsc index.ts. Every time we have to transcompile node index.js. It will return all the keys and values. These are explicit iterators. We have to use these explicit iterators for reading all the properties and values. Generally, this is a common thing you no in that. That means object needs explicit iterators. Object needs explicit iterators, but map have implicit iterators. Map have implicit iterators. That means what map can do is, generally object needs explicit iterators like this. Example like this. We have to use explicit iterators like this. But what is specialty about map? Map provides iterators like keys. It will return all keys. Values. It will return all values. Entries. It will return both keys and values. That means it is easy to access the keys and values. For that you have ready-made methods. We have keys, we have values, you have entries like methods. By using those methods, we can easily access. Object don't have. But what is drawback of map is, map allows different types of values, different types of keys. If you are using a data, if you are using a schema based data, object is schema based and map is schemaless. Schemaless means structureless. Object is structured, but map is structureless. So if you are dealing with structured data, then always go with object. Structureless data. That why structureless? Because one key can be number, another key can be string. That is completely structureless. So all must be string keys. Then it is easy to handle. In that case, we have to use object. So nobody can ask like which one is best. Both are required, but in the modern programming, where we need structureless objects, there we use map. So how we define simple? So generally we define the maps like this. LET. So we say obj is equal to new map. We have to write like this. And in order to store any data into map, we have to use obj.set. By using set method, you can define key and you can define value. In order to access anything, then we have to use obj.get. Get, you have to use the key. It will get the value. Now you can also use obj.keys. It will return all keys. obj.values. It will return all values. obj.entries. It will return both keys and values. obj.delete. It can delete any key. It can remove any property. obj.size. It will return total count of keys. How many keys are present? It can return the size. obj.has. It can verify verify and search for key. You can check whether key available or not. If I asked you a question, like in interviews they ask how to delete a property from object. To delete a property from map, you have a delete method. Then how to delete a property from object? How to delete any property from object? In JavaScript, when you create an object, there are some properties. How to delete any property from an object? In JavaScript, to delete any property, you have to use by using delete operator. In JavaScript, we have a delete operator. That means what we do, we write like this. So delete, so object dot property name. Then it can delete that property. That means we have to delete any property by using an external operator, whereas map is internally having an method. The method is delete. In JavaScript, you have to delete any property by using delete operator. We have to use a separate delete operator. For example, see, currently how many properties are there? So we have 4 properties and we are printing all the 4 properties: name, quantity, price and stock. I want to delete this quantity. I want to delete that quantity. So then see what we will do here. Before printing, just use delete and product dot quantity. That's it. If you do this, and I will compile tsc index.ts and I will run node index.js, it will delete that quantity. There is no quantity. You can delete any particular property in an object by using this method, delete operator. So in JavaScript, we do that by using delete operator actually. Example is this. By using delete operator, we can delete any property. But what is specialty about map? I will show you map. Map specialty, it internally have a method called delete. Now another question asked is how to check for any property in an object. How to check for any property in object. How do you verify whether that property is available or not? How to check for property in object? Generally, to check for any property in object by using in operator. By using JavaScript in operator, we verify whether there is a property or not. But here in map, you don't need that. In map directly, we have a method called has. Has is used to verify whether the property is there or not. So in object, for every action, you have to depend on external operators. But in map, everything is done with internal methods. So that is the reason it is fast. Anywhere explicit operators is always slow. Internal methods are fast. So that is the reason map is faster than object. So you see here how to verify quantity there or not. Generally what we do is we will write a condition. If quantity, property name is quantity, in object is product. If it is there, then what we will do? We will put a message console.log. Console.log, we will say that quantity available. So else we will put a message console.log. So quantity not available, right? NA. Just I written like this. Now, actually I am deleting quantity. If I am deleting quantity, it should say not available because I deleted it. This in is to verify whether quantity there or not. If it is there, it will return true. If it is not, it will return false. That means now see here. So tsc index.ts and node index.js quantity not available. But I will remove this delete method. That means now quantity is there. If quantity is there, compile again. Now it will say that quantity is available. Generally we do that by using an operator called in. In operator is used to verify that. That means syntactically we write like this. So property in object. This is going to return true or false. If it is there, it will return true. Otherwise, it will return false. Example is this one. This is the example that I showed you. So these are all regular questions actually. So we should know the difference between a map and an object. And in many Angular interviews, this question is asked. As I already told you, Angular is a framework. Testing anybody on a framework is not good idea because framework is very easy. Questions are also easily understandable and we can answer them. That means at any depth of framework level questions, we can answer. That non-technical people also easily can understand framework. But problem is in language. That means non-technical people and others generally feel difficulty in language. That is the reason a software developer is always majority tested on language. Even you are a framework learner, so framework is using a language and your abilities, your skills are scaled based on language. That means they get confidence on you only when you have a good knowledge in language. Because framework is very simple. Framework have only certain topics and those topics will be in the same way every time. Logics are complex, difficult, little bit harder for people who are not good in programming. That is the reason when you are attending React, Angular like interviews, so you will face lot of questions in language. So that is the reason you should know all these questions. So what is difference between object, map, how to delete, how to access, all these points are important. Now let's see how the maps are created. So in TypeScript, in order to create a map, let obj is equal to, it is a map. How to store values into map? By using set method. Set contains a key and a value. Key is any type, value is any type. That means I can store one. In that I will put as, suppose HTML is a markup language. Like this I define. Now second obj.set, I am using string CSS JavaScript. This is string type key. Or I will simply put JS, okay? And here JavaScript is a language, like this I define. So is a client side language, something like this I define. Now you have one string key, one have number. If I want to access, then where is console.log obj.get one, it will get the first one. Based on the key, you can access any value. If you want to return, if you want to delete any key, that means obj.delete and you can just give the key name. Key name. That means key name is JS, it will delete it. All methods are same. As I told you, obj.has, it will verify whether the key available or not. We have obj.keys, it will return all the keys. We have obj.values, it will return all values. We have obj.entries, it will return both keys and values. These are simple techniques actually. So that is the reason objects are faster, right? First up to here, if I am printing, you can see, so tsc index.ts. And don't worry, it is already showing that it is available. It is saying that you are trying to use some map option which is not there in older versions. It is available only ES 215 and later. It is just a warning telling that map is a new concept it is there from JavaScript ES5 onwards, right? ES5 and higher versions only use. Obviously, we set our library to which version? 218. When we set our library to 218 in TS config, it will work now. Just node index.js, it is working. Just it is showing a warning to the people that set it to version. Later in Angular, it will suppress all these messages because it will take which version you are using. Based on that, it will report, right? As of now, you don't need to worry. You can forcibly run, you will get that result. That is just a warning to tell that you need advanced version. Already we are using advanced version. So this is the concept of map. Just an example I will give here. Example for map. So all same concept. One more important, better here we have, I am not giving data type now. If I am not giving data type, it will take any only. So you have to mark it as what type? Any type. So it is important to define as any type. This is good. So even you don't define any type, it is taking the type. Actually, this mechanism I will tell you. Actually, this is also a question asked in interviews. What is type inference? What is type inference? This is a question asked in interviews related to JavaScript and TypeScript. Type inference means even you don't define the data type. When you don't define the data type by default considered as any. But once you assign any value into it, once you initialize any value into it, then it will fix to that type. This mechanism is type inference. Type inference is nothing but it is a technique. It is a technique used in TypeScript to define data type for reference based on the value initialized. Based on the value initialized. That means many times people ask this question, if I don't define data type, what will happen? If you don't define data type, by default type will be taken as any. But it is not that it will allow any type. Even if it is any type, once you assign a value into it, based on the value type, it will fix the value as strongly type. That means you see here, suppose I am declaring LET price. I am not defining any data type into it. If I don't define data type, what is the data type? Any type. Now you see, into the price, I can assign a string. Into the price, I can assign a number, right? I can assign some number. And into the price, I can assign some boolean. You can store any. But I am still not defining data type. I will initialize 0. Then automatically it becomes number. That means you see its data type is now number, not any type. That means if anybody asks, if I don't define data type, what will happen? Two situations. If you initialized any value, based on initialized value, type is fixed. If you don't initialize any value, it will be any type. That means that is what I told you in the definition, value initialized, not assigned. Understood? Because you can assign any type of value, initialize. Once you initialized as number, it will be number. Initialized as string, it will be string. So is it necessary to define data type in TypeScript? It is not necessary to define data type if you are initializing a value. Because if you are initializing a value, based on which value you initialized, its type will be taken. what this mechanism is called as type inference. Type inference is a mechanism where the data type will be determined according to the value initialized. So it is a technique used in TypeScript to define the data type for reference based on the value initialized. That means suppose let x, so this is x is any type. So let x is equal to 0. So that means x is number. So let x is equal to empty string. This is x is string, like that. So let x is equal to some false. So that means it is x is boolean. X is boolean. That is how the data types are configured. The data types are defined and configured. That's how it works. So whenever you are configuring the data types, that is what actually type inference is. Type inference. So that is one important thing you should know about the data types, how we can configure the types and define. Is it clear? Right. Next important, after understanding this, so you have learned how we can store array, number, string, boolean, null, undefined, arrays, objects, and maps. And few more things in TypeScript you will come across data types is date. In JavaScript, how to store a date value. In JavaScript, how do we store a date value? So for example, suppose in JavaScript, I want to store some date. Suppose let, so name is a string. So let price is a number. Directly we define. Now let manufactured is a date. How to store date? You have to use a date constructor. You cannot use double quotes. That is string. Dates are defined with a date constructor. Dates are stored in a date constructor, and date constructor will load current date. If you want to store any specific date and time, then inside the date constructor, you have to pass a string. This string should contain year, month, day format. Compulsory, mandatory. Year, month, and day. And space, you can define the time in 24-hour format. That means some 0, 9 or 10, so 20 AM like this. Not required because it is 24-hour format, it will take AM. Right, you say 22, then it will say 10 PM. So this is how we store dates in JavaScript, date and time. In JavaScript, dates are stored with a date constructor. So if you want to store date, this is how we have to do. In TypeScript also same, but we don't have any data type for it. So what we have to do now? So let manufactured is what type? Any. In that we have to use new date. In that 2022 and 01 some 22. That is year, month, day. And the time some 10 colon some 30. This is how we store the dates. That means how you configure the date. So date is stored by using date constructor. By using date constructor. So date constructor will load current date into memory. So you can load specific date and time by using. So the format, we have to use the format like this by using year. So month, day format, and hours and minutes and seconds, and milliseconds. So milliseconds. Like this, you have to store the date. That means when you try to store the date, that will be in this: year, month, day, hour, minute, seconds, and milliseconds. And you know the values: hour 0 to 23, minutes 0 to 59, seconds 0 to 59, milliseconds 0 to 99. 100 milliseconds as 1 second. So that is the date. That means syntactically we have to define in this way. We have to configure like this. Now I hope you learned in JavaScript how to read the dates. In JavaScript, how do we read the date and time? You stored it. How to read? So to read date and time values, you can use all JavaScript date and time methods. Date and time methods. What are the JavaScript date and time methods? Get hours, get minutes, get seconds, get milliseconds. So you have get date, we have get day, we have get month, we have get full year. These are all the methods. So JavaScript provides all these methods to access the dates. You also have to local date string. You also have to local time string. Local you have to spell in the same way, not local, right? You have to spell in this way. To local date string, to local time string, these are all the methods for accessing date and time. Similarly, we have set hours, we have set minutes, we have set seconds, we have set milliseconds, we have set date, we have set month, and we have set year. You don't have set day. Day is actually weekday. Weekday we don't set. Weekday will be set based on the month and day. And very important, all these methods, they return a number. That means day will return date number. Date number means, suppose it is 22 January, then it will return 22. So if it is day means weekday. Weekday means 0. 0 is Sunday. Get month, it will return 0. 0 means January. It will return numbers only, not words. You have to convert those numbers to words. By using your arrays concept, you have to do. That means arrays, enums. I will show you enums, enumerations. We use the techniques of accessing them. So generally, these all are the date and time functions of JavaScript. And those date time functions are used to read the date and present the dates. Actually, suppose I want to present the date. Generally, if I try to present, see what will happen. Console.log mfd. Then you will see that it will print the date in a very lengthy format. You can see it will print like this. Date is printed in this format. Right? We don't want like this. Remember, if you don't give this date, what it will do? It will take the default date. It will take default date, current date. Default date means current date. Suppose you see here tsc index.ts node index.js, and it will take the current date. You can see the current date, but not in a clean form. We don't want like that. We want month, we want day, we want year separate. Then actually we can use two local date string like this we can use. But these also will return in a short way. Actually, they return in a short way. That means they return like this. But I want weekday. Is it Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, weekday? So then what you can do is you can write manufactured.getDay. GetDay will return weekday. But actually weekday it will return number. Compile, you will see it will return a number 5. It starts with 0. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 0 is Sunday. Then this is not clear in printing. Then what we do is we use our techniques of arrays and all. Later you will learn enums. I hope you might have learned enums in Java and .NET like technologies. Here also you have enums. Here also you have enums. Later I will tell you. In OOPS I will discuss about them. So as of now you can use array. Suppose LET. So weekdays is a string type array. In that we will store weekdays. First one Sunday, so Monday, so Tuesday, like this. Wednesday, you can write short or full. Thursday, Friday, so Friday, like this. And I say Saturday, like this I written. Now this is an array. What we can do? This is returning number na. What we can do here is simply we can pass weekdays. Into that we can pass that number. Weekdays is an array. Into the array we pass this number. Then what it will do? It is going to print that number. You can see the number related array value it will print. That is how we do the date manipulations actually. In JavaScript we do in this way. Here also same, only one simple concept is data type is mentioned as any. Right? How do we store the date values? Storing string, storing number, primitive types, non-primitive types, date type. One more you will come across. That means as a language developer, you should know how to store various types of values. For string, number, boolean, array, object, how to declare data types. You have to know that. One more is important. In JavaScript, same in TypeScript, regular expression. How to write regular expressions. I hope you learned in JavaScript how to write regular expression. In JavaScript, suppose I want to validate mobile number starting with +91 and 10 digits number. How to write validation? Actually, in JavaScript, in HTML itself, you will learn actually. So in HTML, you see here, suppose I will give, in HTML, what we are doing is, just I will give here form, no need of entire document. Here, I am giving a simple option like, suppose I said mobile. I given a text box. Input type is equal to text and name is equal to mobile. And how to validate? Here, you know, in HTML, there is a pattern attribute. HTML text box will have a pattern attribute. In this, we can write the pattern /+91 0-9 and 10 digits number. That is how we write regular expressions. HTML will teach you writing patterns. These patterns will allow to validate the values. That means in HTML we have a pattern attribute. This pattern attribute will take a regular expression and verify whether the value you entered is correct or not. I will put a submit button. Then see what happens here. When we run this here, I am entering mobile some 987654321 10 digit number and click submit. It's not allowing because as per the pattern it must start with +91. then you can submit it. Anything else you are trying to submit, it will not allow. That is what you learn in patterns, how to write patterns. Now, what is problem in HTML is it uses a single pattern every time. But what we do in JavaScript is we change the patterns, because when user selects his country as US, then it should validate US format mobile. When he selects India, then India format mobile. So text box is only one, but mobile format is changing according to country. How you will change that? By using regular expressions. Generally in JavaScript, how we write regular expressions? In HTML, we write regular expression in double quotes like string. But in JavaScript, regular expressions, JavaScript, TypeScript, we write regular expressions like this. I will show you here. See, we will write like this: let mobile. It is what type? String. In that you entered some 98765432110. Okay, I am writing regular expression, and regular expression data type is any. And regular expressions are written in double slash. Regular expressions are written in 2 slashes, double slash, slash plus 91, square brace 0-9, and how many? 10 digits. That's how we write regular expression. In HTML, you write in double quotes, in JavaScript in double slash, in TypeScript also double slash. How to verify whether the mobile I entered is matching with this expression or not? We use a method called mobile.match. Match is a string function of JavaScript which is used to verify your value with regular expression. It is asking regular expression. Regular expression is regular expression you design. If it is matching with regular expression, console.log, I will put mobile verified, and else we will put a message console.log, we will say invalid mobile. Invalid mobile, so plus 91 and 10 digits required. This is the option. Now you see I am not using that. If I am not using that, it should show error. Compile it. You can see it is displaying error, invalid mobile. And I am entering here plus 91, plus 91. Okay. Now compile it again. You can see now it should say mobile verified. This is how regular expressions are written. So when you learn JavaScript, this is all important, right? Actually, regular expression, that means it uses a pattern to verify the input value. And patterns are built by using meta characters and quantifiers. Patterns are written in double slash, 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 like this. In this, you have to write your pattern like this. That means pattern is verified by using match method. By using match method, we have to use the match method to verify the patterns. Syntactically, in TypeScript, let regular expression. Suppose a regular expression, suppose any type. So I want to allow only uppercase letters 4 to 10 characters. Then usually we write like this: A-Z. This indicates only uppercase letters, 4, 10. That means minimum 4, maximum 10. That's how we write the regular expression. So these regular expressions you might have already learned in your HTML and JavaScript. The same regular expression here, only the type is important. What is the data type and how do we write the regular expressions? How do we configure? This is a general example about the regular expression. So this is the example for regular expression, how we can validate a value and use it. Right? These are all various data types. Right? So variables, data types, handling different types of data in TypeScript is important. And now operators, statements, functions, all are same. Operators means you learned arithmetic operators, logical, relational, comparison, bitwise, all are same, no change. Statements also same. Statements means if, else, switch, case, for, do, while, and exception handling statement, try, catch, throw, finally, all are same, no change. So you don't need to learn them here. Same what you know in JavaScript, everything same. Now what is new concept here is, that is very major concept, TypeScript OOP language, OOP features. This we detailedly learn, right? We will detailedly discuss OOP features of TypeScript so that we can use this in our Angular. That we'll see in our next session, right? In next session, we will discuss about object-oriented programming in TypeScript. JavaScript also have object-oriented programming, but not complete. So here you will completely learn TypeScript object-oriented programming. What is required for Angular? Okay, that we'll see in next session, and next session will be again on Monday. Tomorrow no session. Our next session will be on Monday. Okay, Monday will continue. If anybody missed out the Google Classroom for